I'm a social worker and I work as a mental health therapist right now. In order to work as a clinical social worker, you need to have a graduate level degree in Masters of Social Work, MSW. I got my MSW from Loyola in Chicago, and it was a 2-year program. Some people they go in right from their bachelor's and they do a 3-year program. You have that option of doing that, but even if you don't have a social work undergraduate program, you can still do a Master's of Social Work in 2 years. The first year is a lot of prerequisites, introducing you to different theories, different people, in the social work field, talking about experiences of oppression and privilege and marginalization. There was a course specifically for that. Learning different theories, learning different orientations of clinical workers, and learning the different places where social workers are on a macro level, like in policy, on a community level, or on a one-to-one clinical level. So you'll do that. You'll get placed with your first internship placement. You have to find the internship. Like the way that it worked for me was you had a database, and you would have a list of internships that you would apply for depending on like what you were looking for. Most of them are unpaid. Both of mine were unpaid. I did my first one at a foster care case management organization. I did my second one as a virtual clinician intern providing therapy for an organization. I might be the wrong person to ask about this, but it was definitely less cohort specific at my program. The cohort wasn't really integrated all together, and they didn't really spend that much time together. It wasn't grouped that way. You kind of just get to like do your own thing, and it's a lot about like your own self-reflection. So while you're going through those courses, you're collecting your internship hours. You also have to go to a course that discusses your internship experiences. So part of that is like you're paying for a course to talk about the internship. Part of that is like paying to participate in the unpaid internship alongside your classwork. Most of the classwork is papers, essays. A lot of it is self-reflection. A lot of it's your opinion or like using sources to back up your stuff. And even if you choose a specific specialty, you'll still get educated about different parts of the social work. So if you are a macro level clinician, you'll still get one-on-one clinical training. If you are a one-on-one, like that's what was my specialty, was the clinical micro level, and I still took courses in policy in macro level, in group therapy, and different methodologies. You get a little bit of choice, more choice definitely in your second year, to just be able to choose the type of courses you want. Like I did one about grief, sexuality. I did psychodynamic therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy used together. They have like room for art therapy as well, or family therapy. And that can kind of show you, the different types of people that can work in those different types of fields. So it's like you're balancing the classwork and you're starting to get your clinical work. A lot of the classwork is self-reflection essays, discussions about articles when you're in the class, and role play sessions as well that you'll do like in front of the group, or sometimes they're recorded. And the biggest thing to think about with this, in my opinion, is to just like go with it as naturally as possible and be as authentically how you would be in that moment that you can, because nobody cares at all what you're saying, and the person there isn't there to get therapy anyway. They're also your classmate who's learning the same things as you. So don't shy away from those experiences, but don't feel like you have to chase professors, chase recommendations, or chase opportunities in graduate school either. I think a lot of that comes to you, especially once you exit the field. So you got your first year internship done, you got your first year done, you start your second year and you get a little bit more choice. You go to your second level internship. For me, it was like kind of flip-flopped. The first year, it was 3 days of classes, 2 days of internship, and then the next year it was 3 days of internship, 2 days of classes, because the second level internship has more hours required. My internships both finished before my classes finished. Like each school year, I like would finish up in April or whatever, and my class would go until May. And the only thing that I needed to get into the program was a letter about what type of social work I wanted to practice. And even that doesn't matter. Like you'll get in and you'll figure out like where you want to be and where you don't want to be really quickly. But you have the opportunity to change that all the time. And social work can be very flexible anyway, even if it's not like specifically jumping from like specialization to specialization. Sometimes it would take a while to find internships, and they are competitive, but there are plenty available, and you can make the most at any internship, even if it doesn't go well, or if you don't get along with your supervisor. That's like common, working in nonprofit or community mental health, like working anywhere, sometimes you won't get along with people, but just finish out the hours, attend the classes, write in a way that is self-reflective, and you will be fine. If you have any questions about the graduate school experience, I would love to talk more about it. especially with some direction. So let me know what you're curious about and if you've had similar or different experiences in your social work programs.